Hello YouTube, it's Keith, Kevin, Ken. How you doing? How you doing? You doing okay? Hope you're doing well. It's time again for a knife of the day. And yes, I'm going to say knives of the day. It's more than one. But it is a knife. It's the Spyderco Jigged Bone Delica with Damascus. It's a discontinued sprint run knife. Remember, with Spyderco, sprint runs are limited edition knives that they tool up for, they produce, they present them around 1,000 pieces, a little more, a little less, it all depends, but they are limited. Once they're sold, they're gone, and then you can only pick them up on the secondary market. Spyderco released their jig bone Delicas in two different flavors. One a gold bolsters with a honey brown jigged handle, and the other in blue. I'm lucky enough to have both of them. So let's talk about this jig bone Delica. You know, the Delica is the best-selling knife from Spyderco. Usually it's the FRN scale Delica. There's a lot of different Delicas, and we'll go through them as we go through the knives of the day. Remember, the concept of the knife of the day is to introduce my collection one knife at a time, one day at a time. We're starting with Spyderco's. It's a big collection. We're starting with Spyderco's and discontinued knives. We'll work our way up to the bigger knives. I know I say knife of the day, but these are just two different variations of the same knife. So let's talk about the Delica. Spyderco took this best-selling working man's knife, inexpensive, usually with the FRN fiberglass reinforced nylon scales that are so tough, VG10 steel, just you could beat it up at a decent price, and they sell a whole mess of them. They still do. They decided to make this masterpiece, to transform the Delica into a custom-like, obviously it's a production knife, but a custom-like knife and a gentleman's folder. And I think they accomplished everything they set out to do. So, the jig bone. Well, let's start. Usually I say, let's start with the handle if the handle is the most unique. Or let's start with the blade if the blade is most unique. On these pieces, they're both pretty specials. But let's start with the handle. So what Spyderco did was they put on a bolster. This is a full tie bolster that, of course, they anodized in blue or in gold. Oh man, it feels like heaven. They put a little indentation in the middle of it on both sides, and the reason for that is just so you wouldn't slip up too much. But you know, it doesn't catch that much. It's more of a decorative detail. Again, this is a Delica. It's just that the materials are unbelievable. And then, of course, the transition into the jig bone. The only transition part that you feel, there are no rough spots to this. The only transition my finger feels is, you know, the jig bone is elevated. It's up a little bit more than the titanium. And it feels just great. The texture's wonderful. Really feels great in the hand, too. It has stainless steel liners, full liners. They're stainless steel. And it has a back lock. Spyderco's back lock, which is very, very strong. Strong back lock, strong detent. Remember, this is still a working man's knife. It just is so pretty. They went way out for this sprint run. Look at that lattice work on the stainless steel back. I mean, look at the back spacer. Just a lot of detail. Remember, when I say it feels like a custom, it really does. In your hand, Look at the workmanship. Remember, this is a production knife. Now, yes, it's a limited number for the production knife, but really a wonderful production knife. Has the lanyard hole. One thing you'll notice, no clip. None whatsoever. You know, sometimes I get upset with Spyderco. They are so interested in giving a four-way clip that they will ruin what I think, especially on these bolstered knives. Sometimes they'll just have tip up so it doesn't mess with the bolster. In this case, they have no clip whatsoever. I think they probably should have added a clip for people who want to clip this in. For me, I would have preferred a clip, but I'm okay because I have a lot of Chris Reeve knives, and so I have a lot of these leather sheaths that I put them in so that they don't get damaged. But trust me, you don't want this damaged, right? Nice collector's piece. Now let's talk about the blade. It is Damascus blade. VG10 core, which is most of Spyderco's Damascus, except they did Damn the Steel on their 40th anniversary native that they released in 2016. VG10 core, you can see it right there on the spine. And then that's sandwiched in between 15 layers of steel, all kinds of different steel on top of each other that comes up to this pattern. 15 different levels of steel all layered together on both sides. And you come up with this Damascus. It's just pretty all the way. They did this for the Endura as well. You'll get a chance to see that later on as we hit the Enduras on the knife of the day. Both in blue and in this honey brown color. Folks, beautiful knife of the day. It's the Delica like you've never seen it before. Spyderco's one of Spyderco's best-selling knives. Economical. There's a lot of variations to it, but I love this one. Sprint Run, it's discontinued. They pop up every now and then on the secondary market, and most of the time they're in good condition because when people originally bought these knives, they knew they were collectors. You don't buy this to put in your workshop and beat up, right? So if you can find one, you usually find them in good condition. There you have it, the knife of the day. Yeah, it's the Spyderco Jigged Bone Delica with Damascus. Discontinued Sprint Run. Oh, in blue or in brown. And that's it. Thumb it up if you're enjoying these knives of the day. Let me know that it's worth it doing a video every single day before I run off to work late. Also, check out the playlist of all of these. We started this about a month and a half ago. All of them are on the playlist. Also, later on today, we're going to do a pocket dump deconstruction. We've been doing that for over a year now. We're going to continue to do that too. 2 daily videos on the Keith Kevin Ken channel. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share it. Let other folks know this crazy fool is going through his collection one knife at a time, day by day. Subscribe. We're looking for subscribers. We're looking to hit that 2,000 subscriber goal. And then turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the videos. Catch me on Instagram at Keith Kevin Ken. You guys have a perfect day. If I can't have it, if I can't have one, I really want you to have one. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.